What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another exciting episode of Oh, That's Random Podcast, the podcast where we take a little time to explore the extraordinary and ordinary. If this is your first time here, thank you for stopping by. If you are returning, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate it. Appreciate the love. Thanks for coming through. Thanks for stopping by. All the above. Listen, like, subscribe, share, do all that good stuff, okay? Best way to support the umbrella here is easy peasy, queasy. You know what I'm saying? Nerdysumbrella.com, okay? Nerdysumbrella.com, Patreon /NerdysUmbrella. That's going to help us out a lot. Go get you some nerdy merch. Go check out some of the shows that we got going. All the above. All right? And what we're going to do, we're going to explore the extraordinary today. This is part of a series that I have going right now. And if you're tuning in to this series, it's not going to be separate, but I'm going to let you know. I'm probably going to, I'll get a little bit more in detail of how I'm going to run this. But these are shows that are based off of my journey so far and the things that I've learned. And as I've learned these things, I'm bringing them along the way and I'm teaching and putting it out there. So first things first, this show is going to be about why communication fails. And I'm going to tell you guys why communication fails. This is not about relationship far as an intimate relationship, right? But this could apply as well to an intimate relationship. The way I look at it, relationships are all entangled, no matter what way you look at it, okay? A relationship is the foundation of relationships starts when you are a child, okay? So that relationship that you develop with your mother, your father, or whoever your caregiver was when you were a baby, that's where the communication piece starts. When you turn into a toddler, grow into a toddler, let me say that, once you grow into a toddler as well, that plays a part into the way that you build relationships, the way that when you go to church, family functions, go to school, the way that you handle relationships, that all starts at a young age, but also it follows you throughout your entire life, your adulthood, right? Some of us, we're not the greatest at building good relationships, but the communication piece, how we speak, how the people spoke to you, or how you were taught how to speak. Sometimes children just speak, right? They are the most honest little human beings on this earth, okay? They're honest. They're going to tell you what it is. There was a show that Bill Cosby had back in the day, said, kids say the darnest things. Kids say the most honest, truthful things, no matter if they think the fat guy is pregnant or if the fat woman is pregnant. They don't know. At some ages, they don't know who is supposed to be pregnant, but if they see a fat person, they think that fat person is pregnant and they're going to call it out. If a person looks like they're hungry and haven't eaten in days and they're skinny and they can see their ribs, they're going to think that what's wrong with that person? Is he homeless? Is she homeless? Is she poor? Is he poor? Why can we see their ribs? They're going to tell you honestly. Their brain does not have those parameters set up to say, that's not nice to say. Because where do we get those parameters from? Is the adults in our life, which they then in turn help us to communicate to some degree. I was about to say effectively, but effectively to their standards. And they might not be the best communicators in their standards, right? So communication fails here in business, in trying to network. Communication fails because not everybody speaks the same language, even if they do speak English. Everybody who speaks Spanish don't speak the same language, even if they are speaking Spanish to one another. Because we all know the game that we all played in high school, or whenever you decided to play, whenever they taught this to you. I'm going to say one thing. the ball is blue, and we're going to pass this around between 10 to 15 people, and by the time it gets back to me, there's going to be big blue balls does something, okay? That's just the way it goes. Not everybody hears the same thing. Not everybody is going to interpret words the way that you say them. My message is not my message to me, and this is just to me, my personal opinion. My message is going to reach a certain demographic of people because they understand what I'm saying. There's going to be other people who hear what I'm saying and saying, I kind of get it, I don't really get it, but I kind of get where he's going. And there's going to be other people who are going to say, hey, I heard what he said, but it's going to take them maybe a day or so to process what I'm saying and then realize, oh, that's what he was saying. And then there's going to be other people going to be like, I don't know what the flip he talking about. But then somebody else with the exact same message that I have and the exact same ideal that I have, they're going to say it a different way. And those people who didn't get it, they're going to get it right away. Communication fails because we refuse to hear, to listen. We refuse to listen. Let me say it that way, not hear, because we can hear everything, but we refuse to listen. We're already for a response. We're always ready to, we're thinking about, we're going to hear the first two sentences of what a person says or the first two words of what a person says, and then we're going to be gearing up our response. You can't gear up a response off of two words because the person may, those two words may just be the start. And then the meat and potatoes, because some people talk around about in a circle. And then when they talk around in a circle, they have to, this is the way that they have to land their plane. Not everybody can just come in for a straight, smooth landing. Some people have to circle the dang on airport a few times before they can land their plane because this is the way that they have been taught to communicate. And sometimes that loses people because who wants to go in a whirlwind? You understand what I'm saying? So some people need that straight, direct shooter and boom, they can land their plane and then we can try to get a understanding. Others, like I say, they're going to fly around in a circle. They're going to be like, take you over here. We're gonna hit this roller coaster over here. We're going to hit the Texas Giant. Then I'm going to bring you on home with the Cyclone. And then there you go. You know what I'm saying? But that's not feasible in business. That's not something that you want to do in business, but it happens. It happens. I'll share here. So when it comes to getting interviews and working with other content creators, it's like Hollywood. It's like Hollywood. I hear what the Hollywood folks say. Oh, the lingo. Oh, yeah. No, not a problem. Hey, we'll get together and we'll do something. Yeah, you bet, not a problem. And it never happens. I've worked with some content creators, and I'm not even going to say worked. I've reached out to other content creators. We've had conversations. We've had conversations back and forth. And when the day came, they just either ghosted or they never replied or they said that they were on their way and they never came. The breakdown is, I'm scared to tell you I won't be able to make it. I don't want to be a disappointment. I know I might need you in the future, but I don't know how to tell you I can't make it today. I don't want to counsel on you. I don't want to feel like I'm at fault. But if you tell me, then we can reschedule. Or if you just don't want to do it, just say that you don't want to do it. And I'm fine with that. I don't owe you anything. You don't owe me anything. If you don't want to work with me, then don't work with me. But the communication piece is just verbalize that. Say it. Text messages is an easy way for you to back out of it. Like if you're scared to back out of something or to do it face to face, text messages is right there for you. Email is there for you to hide behind. A lot of people hide behind their social media platforms and say things, and that's why they have burner accounts and fake stuff, Finstas and all of that other stuff. That's because they can hide behind those things and say whatever the hell they want to say. Me personally, me personally, I'm not a fan of that. I'd rather for you just to say, hey, nerdy, I'm not going to be able to make it today. Or listen, I thought this would be a good fit, but I don't think it is. And, maybe in the future, maybe in the future. Okay, cool. I don't have a problem with that. But it fails. The communication fails because that person feels away. And if they don't have a real reason why not to show up, they don't want to lie. That's what I'm assuming. 2, they don't want to seem like, they don't want to be put in an awkward position, because being put in an awkward position can't teach you a lesson facetiously. That's me being facetious. Yes, being in awkward positions can teach you. And I think that a lot of people don't want to be put in those positions these days, where they don't want to be put in an awkward position. They don't want to feel like they're letting somebody down. They don't want to feel like, this person might dislike me, or this person might ask me why, and I don't want to have to explain myself because I don't have a real good reason, and I don't want this person to look at me differently. Whatever their reason may be, it's not warranted. That communication fails because of self-doubt. That self-doubt is put there by themselves, or somewhere in their upbringing, or some experiences that they may have had on their own accord. And that's where, in my opinion, that's where it all kind of fall down. You know what I'm saying? What they claim, say, when it all falls down, and that's what they did. The communication is not that hard, but it fails in this content space is because they look and say, who is this going to benefit more? Is it going to benefit you, or is it going to benefit me? And if they feel like it's going to benefit you more, then they don't want to do it, because sharing the audience is just too much like right. You act like people can't watch multiple things. Most people do. Most people go get their information from one source and then they go listen to another source. Okay. It's just like if you listen to New Rock Stars, but then you also go listen to Emergency Awesome, right? They create the same type of content. New Rock Stars has a plethora of people over there doing the videos, but they're giving out the same content. Charlie is by himself over there at Emergency Awesome. He's giving out the same content in his context, but it's him by himself. People who watch New Rock Stars watch Emergency Awesome. They're going to listen to see if there's something different, or if somebody has a different opinion. So sharing the audience is a thing. Sharing the audience does not mean that you're going to lose your subscriber. It doesn't mean that you're going to lose your viewer. And sometimes it's just like, I don't want to voice that because it'll make me look like a dick. Everybody wants to save face. Everybody wants to, I want to leave a door open for this person, maybe where we can work together in the future. But the way that you do that is by being upfront and honest with a person, I believe. I love that line that Drake said, I wish that people can, when I meet people, they can tell me everything that they want from me or what they need from me. Because now you know what this is. This is just a business. This is just a business transaction. We're not trying to be buddy buddies. We're not trying to build any type of relationship. This is what I need from you, and I need you to get it from me. And this is what I, you know what I'm saying? It can be straightforward, but being straightforward is frowned upon in certain areas because it's just like, they're just so blunt. I mean, you want to try to build a relationship, you want to build a connection, you want to see if the vibe is there, and if it's not there, then you might want to seek other creators or other collaborators, because you want to be able to mesh with this person. You don't want to just be able to come in here and do a job and get it over with, because that'll be too much like right. Communication breaks down because there are other voices on the outside stepping in and saying things that, or putting thoughts and ideas into this person's head that this person didn't have before. If me and you had a gentleman's handshake and everything was fine and we both agreed on it, but if somebody come and jump in my ear or somebody come and jump in that other person's ear, now things are going to get a little dicey. Communication is going to break down because we don't know how to come together and just say, hey, our gentleman handshake, that's what we wanted, that's what we both wanted, and that's what we both agreed to. Let's keep it that. That'll be too much like right. Communication breaks down and it fails because we sit here and, like I say, going back to the part where we only hear and not listen. We want to be the one to we want to be the one to, but we don't want to be the one or be the cause for failure. And I understand that. I understand that to a degree where, okay, I get it. Yeah, you don't want to be the cause of something failing, but guess what? Failure is the best 1000% best teacher of life. So if you are avoiding failure or a possible failure, you're doing yourself a disservice. When communication fails, that's an opportunity for you to get better. Anytime I have an argument, I look at myself and I say, self, what could have you done better in that conversation to make that conversation not go off the wheels? Well, Nerdy, first of all, maybe you shouldn't have been petty. Nerdy, second of all, maybe you should have, maybe this little smart remark when this person made that, maybe you could have let that one fly by. Maybe that person didn't really mean that. Maybe that person was just saying that and didn't understand how they came off. Maybe instead of antagonizing them, maybe you asked them a question and to get some clarity, right? And make sure that, you watch your tone, because sometimes your tone can be a little bit aggressive or it could be a little concerning. So why not? So yeah, that makes sense. It makes all the sense in the world. I get you. I follow you 1010%. We have to look inward when it comes to this communication. Communication is going to fail because, like I say, outside forces, because we weren't taught. They say you got language arts. What does that really mean? Language arts of the languages? No, it just tells us about where the commas are supposed to go. It teaches us how to write a short story. That's it. It doesn't teach us how to talk. It doesn't teach us how to handle ourselves in certain situations. It doesn't teach us how to negotiate. It doesn't teach us common pleasantries. Of course, they go, oh, you're supposed to get that from your house. Well, yeah. When we get a lot of this stuff from the house, that's how we have a lot of misunderstandings. That's how we get a lot of people that get, done in. That's how a lot of misunderstanding happens. And then once misunderstanding happens, sometimes things turn tragic, and we want to stay away from anything that's tragic. We want to steer clear of that. Communication fails because I don't believe that whatever it is that we're seeking, sometimes we're not ready for it. Sometimes we don't want to deal with it, because dealing with something like that comes with more responsibility. When you communicate effectively, you get to see your responsibilities, and you might not just want those responsibilities right now. I feel like that. I really do feel like that. I feel like some people just I'd rather not say anything. Some people just shut down. Some people, when you ask them things because they don't know how to, they don't know how to take criticism. They don't know how to take direction. They shut down on you. And when they shut down on you, it's like, hey, I'm trying to work with you. I'm trying to get an understanding. I'm trying to make this work for us both. But even when you saying those words, that's not what they're hearing. They're just hearing, you want to tell me what the fuck to do. And telling me what the fuck to do ain't gonna get it done. Everybody wants to be their own man or woman, and they want to just be like, I got this by myself. I don't need to talk to anybody else. I don't need to consult with anybody else. I got this. That's not the way things work, ladies and gentlemen. It's not. But listen, I'm not gonna keep you for a long time. I'm gonna keep you for a good time. In this case, I'm keeping you for an informative time. So I am gonna play a little some, and then we'll get right back to it, and we'll do the closeout. All right, here we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back, and yep. I hope you are ready. This is the closeout. Listen, when I say I hope that you're ready, be ready for communication. Be open to communication. Be ready for communication breakdowns. Be ready for shutdowns. When I say shutdown, where people just they're gonna just stop talking. But prepare yourself. Prepare yourself to be able to deal with those type of folks when you come across them, because you will come across them if you're in this business. If you've been an entrepreneur, you're going to encounter communication breakdowns. Just make sure that you are ready and you are able to do everything that's on your side. Be fast to listen, not hear. Be fast to listen and slow to speak. Right? Everything can be worked out. You can come to an agreement. You can come to agree to disagree. You just have to be willing to listen first and speak last. And sometimes even just being able to speak up. And if you don't think that you're conveying your message the best, always ask a question. Follow up with a question. If you don't ask a question in that moment, go back and say, okay, hey, what could I have done better in that conversation? What could I have done? Where could I have made some improvements? And continue to try to have conversations, because all that's going to do is just going to put you in a situation where you'll be ready for that. And that's what you want. You want to be put in a situation to where when you do speak, that's what happens. That's what you want. You want to be put in a situation to where, hey, this happened. I want to know. I want to continue. I want to make this better. I want to make this work. I want to communicate effectively. I want to make sure that you get what you need, I get what I need, and this works out for us both. And if we realize that it can't work out for the both of us, then cool. We agree to disagree, but in the end, we have a mutual understanding. There's no hard feelings, and this is just business. If you're doing this in your romantic relationship, it works the same. There's no hard feelings. This is just something that we couldn't agree on in this moment. And if it's something big and we feel like, hey, this is a red flag, or this is what they call those things, unexcusable, or what? It's not what they call it, unexcusable, or this is my no-go, my no-fly zone, or whatever they call it. Then you make the decision there. Okay, unfortunately, this relationship couldn't work because of these reasons, and for those reasons, I'm out. Okay, just Shark Tank that shit. Okay, I know that back in the day, some folks used to tell me, "Yo, Nerdy, you sound like a damn businessman in your relationships." Yeah, I did, and that was because that's the way that I looked at everything. I looked at relationships as this. Listen, are we together? Or are we together? Are we for each other? Or are we not for each other? Are we doing this together, and are we trying to figure out what works for both of us together so that we both can be successful? If that's not what you want, then deuces. I'm out of here. I'm out. I'm gone. Whew. He's gone, guys. He's gone. He ain't coming back. He ain't coming back, man. He ain't coming back. Listen, I told you I'm going to keep you for a long time. I'm keeping you for an informative time. You get the gist of it. This is why communication fails, but it's up to you to make sure that it doesn't break down, and then be sure that you are communicating effectively by going and double checking yourself and asking yourself after a conversation, what could have you done better in that conversation to make it better on your end? We can't change anything on the other person's end. Only look at what you could have done better. And on that note, I am your host, that guy, the one and only Nerdy G. This is Oh, That's Random Podcast, the podcast where we take a little time to explore the extraordinary and ordinary. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, I'm your guy, and I'm out.